All right. So, Mike, thank you for sitting down and talking with me today, being our guest on Beyond the Script. I am really excited to talk to you. It's more than just professional, it's personal. I've come to take you as a friend. So, thank you for having this conversation. And so, tell us a little bit about you, about Mike the person.
How about Mike the person? Well, Latrice, right away, I like to brag back on you. I love the title.
Thank you.
Because what it does is extend your heart through service. Yeah. So you think about this thing you call Beacon Charitable Pharmacy. Mm-hmm. So that's a measurable, it's a deliverable. But you wrap your heart around it, and having a program just like this causes it to have life. So right away I noticed that, and I want to applaud that. I call Lift It Up. So thanks for doing that. And a little bit about me. Well, little Mike, as you take a look at here, I tell everybody when I became a superintendent at age 33, I was 6'2", 205 pounds. This is what's left after doing that job for 19 years. So, but not true. I've always been 5'6", 140 everywhere I've been. And speaking of where I've been, born and raised in Minerva.
Okay.
Went on to the University of Mount Union. So at Mount Union, I was a major in education. So learning disabilities was my minor. Okay. And my major was elementary education. So a lot of folks say, well, Mike, how did you get to alt care and Altman? What this education background? Well, I'll tease that out here in just a minute. Okay. So at Mount Union, 4-year baseball letterman, and actually at my very first job at Alliance City Schools teaching middle school learning disabilities. It was the best, 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. Oh, wow. Loved it. Then I came back to Minerva, though. The call came back. Mm-hmm. So I taught 5th grade for 5 years, was coaching varsity football and varsity basketball. Okay. Then I became the principal of the building where I was teaching. That was age 28. Did that for 5 years, then I became the superintendent, like I teasingly said, at age 33. At the time, I was the youngest superintendent in Ohio.
Wow.
Didn't know what I was doing, so that's probably why you can do it at the youngest. So at 33, I'm the superintendent. I'm 11 years at Minerva. Okay. And then I finished my education career as a superintendent in North Canton City Schools. That was my final 8 years. So 30 years in education, 24 as an administrator. Okay. So right away you're saying, so how'd you get to Altman and alt care?
Yes.
Well, Rick Haynes and Ed Roth had watched my work. I was sitting on boards for and with them, and they said, you know, Mike, we know you can retire from a public system after 30 years, and you'll be young enough to maybe work a little while. Would you want to come and work with our Altman Health System on leadership development and community engagement? Okay. So those were the two big buckets. They said, help us with our leadership training inside the organization across all facets. Okay. So Alliance, Orville, Pomeranian, Canton, you name it, those are the spots. So there's leadership teams that I help guide work. Okay. And then all my community engagement, sitting on boards, doing talks, spending time with great people like Latrice. So that's what I've been doing the last 13 years. Okay. So there's my journey that brings us to these seats today.
Wow, wow. So a fun fact, tell us a little bit about the baseball and some accolades surrounding you and your the Mike that we don't get. We know the Mike the moderator, the Mike the speaker, the strategic planner. Tell me about Mike the baseball, the athlete.
See, now here comes this. So my face is red. They're going to have to do something with that when you cut this out. So I'll do that quickly with the greatest amount of humility. Good Lord used this little guy as an example. Mm-hmm. At 5'6", 140, things should not have happened that happened with me athletically. So as a football player primarily, I never left the field as a senior. So punt returner, kick returner, wide receiver, defensive back, holder for PAT. I'm 5'6", 140. And lo and behold, in the 9th game of the year, I have a 98-yard kickoff return. It's still a school record at Minerva. Who knew a kid this size? So there's my football accolade. Basketball as a point guard, and then baseball middle infielder. So at Mount Union, then the baseball made sense because of my size. Yeah. So 4 years there, had a wonderful career, and just fast forward, I've been blessed to be inducted into the Halls of Fame at Minerva and at Mount Union as a athlete/leader. Okay. And then I'm in the Amateur Baseball Halls of Fame in Stark County and Tuscarawas County.
Look at you.
So that's humbly, but I was used. The good Lord saying, a little guy, look what you can do rather than what you can't, and see what your assets are as opposed to what others' assets may be that are bigger than yours. So I'm a model as well as an example.
Absolutely.
And humbly share that story.
Absolutely. That's amazing, right? You were a healthy, fit athlete, and now you're in the health and wellness space. Look at how things work together.
That's a definition of it, and then living through it. But I'm blessed every day, and I say that.
Awesome. So, Mike, let's delve into some questions. So, how have your years in the classroom and school boards shaped your sense of justice and health, especially around access and equity?
I like that. Equity, access, justice. I'm going to weave those together
Okay.
to say, I just believe that we're wired for relationship by design. So in the classroom, you were looking for what's the best way to create a relationship in your teammates, which are your students, and the content.
Yeah.
Similar to what you will do here with your relationship to the people who are using your service.
Okay.
So at its core, if you're looking for justice, or if you're looking for value around that, you're going to listen to their heart. What do they need? What's really helping them be their best? And then walk with them. So the best teachers should do that. Know my students, assess what their interests are, and then walk with them with my content.
Okay.
And then allows all those other divisions to dissolve.
Right.
So the justice is always there because you're looking for that and you're causing it to happen.
Right.
If you see something that's not equitable, then you're right away, that's your intervention opportunity.
Yeah.
So I use those big words to say, how do you create lived experiences?
Yes.
So that folks will be their best in those lived experiences.
Yes. Yes.
So that's how I did it as a coach and as a teacher.
I love it. And I love the way you're touching on like those transferable skills, right? So when we're talking about this equity space and this health space, we have people that think, well, that's not my wheelhouse or that's not my thing. But being able to take your lived experience and use those transferable skills, because it takes a village. When we're talking about health justice, educational justice, it truly takes a village. So, thank you for bringing to light those transferable skills so that folks out here know we can all be a part of creating this justice that we're looking.
Love where
to
you went there,
create.
creating it, because that means we have a to-do skill. Rather than being a participant/spectator, let's get all in and be a doer.
Yes.
Affect it.
Yes, let's do and be change agents. So strategic partnerships, like that was one of the things that you kind of touched on with some of the work that you do with Altman and Beacon. We're grateful because our current 3-year strategic plan, you led those endeavors for us. So where have you seen some unexpected allies playing a pivotal role in improving health outcomes?
Yep. Here's what when you talked about pivotal outcomes and those community agencies, I'll share it this way. A lot of folks think when they start a project or a plan that all of the companies line up a certain way and you should just follow that. Well, some of the most rich feedback comes from folks who don't use the service but have reflection about it. So in other words, it's the light that's beside it that you can shine a little light on it, and then all of a sudden you say, I hadn't seen it that way. So I always tell folks to take a look at the Pittsburgh Zoo model.
Okay.
And here's what I mean. It's their marketing model.
Okay.
So you might look at it and say, okay, where are you going with that, Mike? Well, when you look at the Pittsburgh Zoo marketing model, there is a tree with birds, even some fish jumping. But at the center of the tree, there are actually two animals looking at one another.
Okay.
So there's the white space and the dark space. It simply means we're all looking at the same thing, but there are two perspectives that exist all the time. So if we think about how can community be really good, get folks to look at it who don't always use it and say, what do you see here? And then let's talk about how might you come alongside us as well. So the unsuspecting partner or that person or group that says, we've always done this mission, but hey, let me look at yours. Have you ever thought of? And so we use the phrase, just Pittsburgh Zoo it.
Pittsburgh Zoo it.
Just Pittsburgh Zoo it, which means look at the model and go, okay, we're all like the same thing. Lend your stuff.
Yeah.
Even though you don't normally go with us on this journey.
Right.
Step in and walk a little bit with us.
Right. So you talk about that feedback from like the unexpected partner. We have so many nonprofits here in our county, right? We are resource rich, but sometimes we're connectivity poor.
What
right?
a phrase.
Yeah. So when we're talking about garnering feedback, what are some tips? Right? Because we do need to figure out, how do I get that feedback from those that are not in my everyday lens? So what are some suggestions or recommendations that you have for garnering some feedback?
A lot of times it might be, let's say you've done some work with a group or a company or a series of them, so you're so used to just reaching out to them. Then you stop and say, all right, where might I go to look at some mission statements of some other agencies? Like, what's that group do? So you just take a peek and say, their name sounds interesting. maybe they could give me feedback on just this little part of what I
Love
do.
it.
So maybe they're IT rich and they're real creative. Culture group, just because it comes to the top of my mind. Well, a lot of folks would wait to get to a culture group because they want to produce a product.
Yeah.
What if you come all the way back and say, hey, what do you know about our business right up front? If I ask you 2 questions, what would you say? Yeah. Then all of a sudden, there's that different light, a little different feedback. So your focus feedback starts to expand a bit.
I like it.
Now you get a shot to say, I hadn't thought of it that way.
Yeah.
Then you look at your mission, vision, and purpose and say, what might we do with that energy?
Yeah.
So you just always want to think macro to micro.
Okay.
Macro to micro.
Okay.
And know who your community partners are to do that. Because you might think, that's an unsuspecting partner. Yeah, who knew? But the idea would be, let's let them in and have a talk.
Yeah.
So the focus group might be, can I go to lunch with you and just talk about what you do? Or, hey, invite them to one of your events and let them see what you guys do.
Intentionality. Being intentional.
Good word.
Being intentional. So how do you balance the needs of a health system with the lived realities of the people that we serve?
A lot of folks will say the health system, so quickly you think about the physical care.
Yes.
But our Altman Health System mission is just leading our community to improved health.
Okay.
And we underline the word leading and we underline the word health. And here's why.
Okay.
Leading means we're going to take initiative because we're locally governed. We are connected to our community. So we're not going to wait for somebody to tell us, can we get in? So we want to lead. Health can mean physical health, mental, emotional health. Can mean prescription health, education health, just right down to the whole idea of community health.
Yeah.
So we broaden the definition of health and then use our resources to get in and help where and when we can.
Okay.
We think that keeps that focus group opportunity
Yes.
available because you're involving yourself.
Yeah.
You also help partners come alongside, and all of a sudden it's the community, which means coming in unity,
Yeah. Okay.
as opposed to just the thing.
Right.
It's community.
Right.
So that's how we use it. We just broaden the idea of leading and health.
Okay.
And always think community through it.
I like that. I like that. And that ties back into what you're talking about, feedback and that intentionality in order to really serve the folks that we are charged to serve. We have to understand that whole conundrum that you just talked about.
Amen to that, because most folks wait till they get to the emergency room,
Yeah.
or that they get to their primary care physician because some event has happened.
Yeah.
Well, you want to be so far ahead of that.
Yes.
So far ahead of that, if you can. And when you create relationships, you have a way to do that.
Yeah. And you know, for our community members that we serve that are listening to this conversation, I always like to say it's like the maintenance on your car. Right? We go to the emergency when we're in crisis, or we go to the doctor when we're in crisis. But that would just be like waiting for your engine to implode because you haven't gotten oil changes. It's about maintenance.
Yeah.
It's about maintenance.
It's such a cool way, and you make me think of alignment then too,
Yeah.
Latrice. And what I mean by that is when our head, our heart, and our inner spirit are aligned,
Yes.
we make better decisions, we contribute better, and our best skills and talents then get multiplied. So alignment's a little bit like the car, and you made me think of that. You know, if your tires are out of line a little bit, you still drive it.
Yeah, I do.
And then all of a sudden, how about you? Then you say, why is that tire a little bald? Which means it's not performing right. Or you hear this little weird clicking.
Yeah.
You're going, well, I'll just keep driving.
Yep.
Or your fuel efficiency all of a sudden goes down. You wonder why.
Yeah.
We're just a little out of alignment.
We're out of
so
alignment.
I love where you went with that car to say, hey, we need to be thinking about our alignment. And that means community resources.
Yes.
Who can get us help in a timely way? Are we thinking about future?
Yes.
So if we stay aligned as a community, we automatically bring our
Aligned.
agencies together.
Yep, and alignment takes all of us. It
does.
takes the folks we serve. It takes the folks that are leading. It takes everybody. I like that. So when we're talking about alignment, if you could script a plan for the next 3 years that would break business as usual, what would you put in it? What would be in it?
So when you think about business as usual, very quick, I always say to folks, okay, they're working on their own thing. So if folks could right out of the gate, if they could think, this is the space that we're pretty good at, and right away think, who can we help with our stuff?
Okay.
And just have that one bump into moment.
Okay.
So, okay, maybe it's deboard. This is what you do. Okay, your systems, what could you bump into that's non-traditional for you? And just start to think about that bump into. Then you do a little something together. that bumps into the next thing.
Okay.
Then you bump into, oh my goodness, now look, we've got 6 or 7 people working on something.
Yeah.
So it might be, let's use Mayor Scherer. He likes his neighborhood.
He does.
So you think about he's talking neighborhood. All right, well, a lot of folks have an idea around what's a neighborhood.
Yeah.
Well, let's Pittsburgh Zoo it. What do you want to look at here, and what's it mean, neighborhood, to all
Right.
these different agencies and entities?
Right.
And if we just have one little thing we can do together, just something to kick it forward, it's a bump into moment.
I like that.
Now we get a chance to create a little critical mass.
I like that. Bump into.
So it's just, what's the bump into moment? But
Bump
you have to think that way, because you have to stay away from your lane that you always want to stay in,
Yeah.
and just create a little extra perspective. What could we do non-traditionally with the things that we have?
Or stay in the lane, or in my case, Mission Creek.
Mission Creek. We had fun with that phrase when we were working our way through the strategic
gosh.
plan.
Yes. Okay, but bump into moment, I like that. And for bump into moments to work, we have to have accountability, right? So what does accountability to community look like in practice? And how do you make sure voices aren't just heard, but they're acted upon?
Love where you go, accountability and then acting upon.
Right.
Patrice. So the teacher in me starts to come back to say you need action verbs
Okay.
in the work that you're doing. So you can't just have phrases or things that are feel-good mantra. You have to be doing something. So right away you're thinking, what's the action verb that we can put around this work?
Okay.
So you just think about, okay, who's accountable to that? And if that group says yes to it, what's their action verb? And then who's going to oversee it? Who's going to shepherd it?
Right.
So that it's not just rhetorical.
Yeah.
So it just takes, sometimes it's a community leader, and I'll use an example. It might be a Stark Education Partnership.
Okay.
It might be Stark Community Foundation. A group that has lots of entities that are connected to it routinely, then they can help create the action verb
Okay.
into the bump into moment because they see it in a macro.
Yeah.
So we just have to look around our community and say, who sees macro most often? And then let's get accountability conversations set up.
Yeah.
What if we do something different with this? Because you know the players.
Yeah.
Let's tinker with this just a little bit differently.
Yeah. That collaboration, getting outside of our silos, collaborating, working together, because we all have such limited resources that collaborations really work because you don't have to do it all.
100%. As a matter of fact, if you just know what your quick resource is,
Yes.
everybody puts a little bit of arm's length. I don't know if I have time.
Yep.
Or I want to overcommit our resources because we're something small but mighty.
Yeah.
Beautifully simplistic.
Yeah. Quick resource. Unpack that for me. What does that mean?
Well, quick resource would mean this. Are you a doer, a donor, or a door opener?
Okay. All
Are you,
right.
what can you do with that? Are
Yes.
you a doer, a donor, or a door opener? And a quick resource would be, okay, I know where I'm at. What can we do as an agency or as a little focus group team?
Yeah.
Or if it's leadership Stark County,
Yeah.
what can we do with a macro moment, because everybody's in the room,
Yep.
into a micro opportunity?
Yeah. So my niece taught me this. She said, this mean that you on point. So I'm
Oh, I love it. I'm going to remember this now when I see you.
So Kayla gonna be laughing at me, Kayla, but
I always thought there's a signature moment that just happened there. We had one of those. That's the
we
best.
did. So Mike, I want to ask you a miracle question, right? So, if tomorrow you woke up and one barrier to health equity in our region had completely disappeared, what would it be, and how would life change for the people in our community?
Right away, I go quickly on that. Access to health. If we could get the barrier removed to say, I don't know if I can get to the doctor, or I can't afford to get to the doctor, or who will take me to the doctor. When I have a health need,
Yes.
mental, physical, emotional, script need, no bumps, no speed bumps, we can get you to that spot in a timely way. So that's my miracle. Everybody would be on the side of that road just bringing you along.
Removing
Yeah,
barriers.
just getting it's not a speed bump anymore, it's a pathway. And having everybody just be there at the right time to keep that moving along to
Yes.
that point of service.
Yes, yes, yes. Access. Access creates justice.
Yeah, because they feel now that I've seen, I'm heard, and I'm valued.
Yeah.
So there's justice just in that.
Yes.
And then their doing comes from a better place because they
Yes.
believe it to be true.
Yes.
Rather than somehow I'm being, it's contrived or I'm being manipulated.
And Mike, it takes everybody, right? So even when we talk about health access, we have to have education there because folks can't access appropriately what they don't understand.
Right. Beautiful.
Right?
Beautiful.
People have to have food, safe housing, transportation to get there. So I always talk about that hub and spoke and those spokes. And if one spoke is out of place, our entire ecosystem will crumble. So for health equity, we need educational, criminal, transportation, housing. We need all of those things to play together.
With a routine manner of meeting so that the doing
Yes.
can have some action rather than huddling up, all well intentioned.
Yeah.
And everybody leaves the huddle, not always sure what's their next thing they can do.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to shepherd it.
Yes.
But
yes.
yeah, there's stuff you can be doing when you leave those huddles.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to shepherd and say, on this January 2026, these 3 things are going on. Who's responsible for it?
Yeah.
And just keep moving it that way.
Yep. And with shepherding, why do you think that doesn't happen? Why? Because we do a lot of conversations. We have a lot of great conversations. But with you talking about shepherding, that's what's missing because we leave those conversations. So what do you think is the hang up to shepherding and what do we need to do? When I go into my next community conversation, like how do I advocate for shepherding?
I'd say establishing sustained leadership.
Sustained.
So here's what I mean. That sounds all pretty, doesn't it? Sustained leadership. Simply means, okay, what's the model that you would put together to lead the initiative? Okay. Is it scalable and sustainable?
Yes.
So you put those 2 words side by side and say, okay, who's going to be the shepherd for the next 2 years?
Okay.
And then you succeed that with who's going to take it the next couple years after that. Then it could be it could be a company.
Okay.
It could be an entity like education. But somebody's going to always get the group together to say, where are we on this task? Who's doing it? And what's the outcome?
Yeah.
So I think what happens is great people get in line for a little while. They retire.
Yeah.
They move to another job or their company. Something happens. And then no one really knows who's up next. So it just quiets until it gets stirred back up again. So I just think the sustained leadership part, however that model would need to look, would be the thing.
And I hear you saying when we leave these meetings, we need to put out action steps that we stick to and we carry forward.
Yep. And typically, if you can help folks do small ones, they're not so overwhelmed. They don't go back to their company and go, yeah, I got my own thing going on here.
Right.
And now this thing got real big.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
Yeah.
No, just one, like we say, that beautifully simplistic stuff that you can measure and see.
Yeah.
And let's talk about how that went.
Beautiful.
Example, what I'm noticing is around the idea of transfer of data of our patients.
Okay. Yeah.
So there's been that whole idea of, hey, if you go to the ER at Altman, but then you're going to go see a mental health professional, can that mental health professional see your record so that it's not a start over moment?
Yeah.
And see, that's a piece of the sustainability. We can't have the start over moments. They should be able to, in time, I see that.
Yes.
Now what can we do? Oh, you don't have a ride there? Well, I can call
Yep.
ABC Dollar Ride.
Yep.
Because they already know that they're going to get called for this.
Yeah.
And this is my region of the community. Great. I'm going there, and this is where you take them.
Love it.
And just have those quick pathways and then measure it.
Yeah.
How'd we do?
Yeah.
And then let those external focus groups who don't use it talk to us.
Right.
Come back all the way around to what we talked about earlier. What are we missing?
Yep. And just a little teaser, you're talking about sharing of data. Just a sneak. Later on in our season, we're going to be talking with Dr. Andrew Mader.
Oh, beautiful.
So make
She's
sure
the right
listeners
girl.
tune in because you'll get to unpack and hear more about what Mike just
You will
alluded
love
to.
her
Yeah.
and that topic.
Yeah.
And you're facilitating?
Yes.
It's going to be a good day.
It's going to be a good one.
It's going to be a good day.
So, Mike, what's one thing that, as we wrap up, what's one thing that you want people to know about you and your work?
I think for me, the idea of personally and my work is that we should all have a little bit of a personal mission statement. And I don't mean to overstate that. It doesn't have to be so formal. But when you're using your God-given skills and talents, your own personal toolbox, do you know what those are?
Okay.
And then where do you find your joy when you use those? And I don't mean happy-go-lucky joy. I mean when your skills and talents are lifting somebody up and you can feel it, quickly look around and say, where am I when I'm doing that?
Okay.
So if y'all have that personal mission statement, say, I just want to walk with somebody and you help them use their skills and talents to solve something. That might be a personal mission statement.
Okay.
For me, as an educator and a coach and a leader, it's always, what can I do to walk with you? And then help you unlock the assets you already have.
I love
And
it.
just keep using them, knowing that I'll be there for feedback
Okay.
along the way. So that's an example to say, if we all have a way that we go about being our best,
Yeah.
then I would say that's the joy, and that's also the best way to have that good walk in life that you know is lifting others up.
Ah, that's awesome. Mike, it has been great
Oh, it's a
sitting
joy to
with
be here.
you and chatting with you and learning more about you. And just want to say thank you
Mm-hmm.
for your commitment to Beacon, for the work that you do on our behalf, for being an advocate. I appreciate you.
Well, back at you, know that I will always be. It's the journey. It's not just that little sprint. So I'm with you for the long haul, girl.
Awesome. And so, Mike, if our listeners want to connect with you, are you out there on social media? You on LinkedIn?
Nope, I'm one of it's the greatest story before I wrap up.
Okay.
In my superintendent world, I had a hard enough time keeping up with my email, so I never moved past just managing my email. So I am not on any socials at all.
Not even LinkedIn?
No, not even LinkedIn. Nope. I'm a simple guy, so if you need me, it's email, but I'll come running. I will come running. But it'll be through email.
All right. Thanks, Mike.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you. Thanks for having me on, girl.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it.
All
Thanks,
right.
everybody.